All right. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's me, Andrew. I'm here with Ellie.
Yes, hi everyone. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gone live.
Yeah,
We were, I guess, we were doing a number of things. We were going to the mall in Eisenhower Park and walking around.
yep.
Um,
Going to the art class.
yeah. So I mean, we took a break from social media. Or at least you and I did,
Yeah,
and we recharged the batteries. And now we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah. So today we did. Oh yes, and we went to this place called Just Salad in Massapequa. I got myself a strawberry banana smoothie and a chicken poblano soup. It was spicy but good.
Yeah, I got the Tokyo Super Greens, which was pretty good. We got that. I was pretty hungry. I didn't eat anything today, and we got that, and I guess it filled me up, right? Yeah.
Yep. And we did some art today.
Yeah, we did. We did. So
I did one art thing today, like one drawing today. It's just random colors and with random shapes you made with markers.
true.
So that's it.
I'll share with you mine here, though. Okay, the first one, obviously is I ask: is it really all delusional? Is it all me? Is there nothing to communicate? Is it just enabling, lack of intervention, and neglect, and no one want to see me get hurt? I know they say this is projection and a reflection, and it's all coming from me. And we were talking about, obviously, people being honest with you, and how do you know if somebody's being honest with you or not? And there's no secrets to communicate, right?
Right.
What were your thoughts on that regard?
Well, my thoughts are people,
Yeah, I know. Obviously, you got to prove yourself to be trustworthy.
yeah.
You got to prove yourself to have a good track record of honesty and transparency. Obviously, there are people who are liars, and they say, when somebody has a proven track record of lies and deception, you have a hard time believing them, right?
Definitely.
And we also said, obviously, if your support system, case in point, my parents, if you feel like you can't trust them or believe them, kind of branches out to everyone in the world. Like it's
Exactly.
like who is telling me the truth, if anyone, right?
Well, your pets would be telling you the truth. Not that they can talk, but
You feel like your pets can be genuine with you, yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, the next one I'm going to go over here is, obviously you see an old friend who's very tiny, and obviously she said, she says, "You were the giant." I say to her, "You were the giant. Now I am." And I say to her, obviously the giant man child, the giant baby. I say to her, "I won't crush you. I'll have mercy." But the ant, obviously I'm an ant, microscopic, self-conscious, tiny. The ant is going to get gigantic. It's going to turn into a giant. And obviously the old friend is apologizing, hoping for mercy. And I say, "I won't crush you. I'll have mercy." That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So that was that artwork. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it doesn't make sense because,
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, obviously there are people who have a lot more power than you. They're giants. Maybe not literally like 7-footers.
oh no.
But they got a lot of money. They got a lot of power, and in comparison to you, obviously, I got less than $1,000 to my name, eating, pizza, tuna fish, and peanut butter, and less than $1,000. Obviously, I'm not a giant. But obviously, if I did become a giant and I found out there was deception and lies and betrayal, you might get angry. I know we say generally the best revenge is to live life well. The best revenge is no revenge.
Well, it's best for. Well, if you think people are lying, it's best for them to. Better for you to hear the truth from them, not from someone else. Because it's not really what people say; it's what they don't say.
Exactly. I know, like, sometimes I think, especially my parents and stepfather, like, they're not communicating with me because they know I'll go ballistic, and they don't want to take accountability for that. But even if it's true, and even if they were just like really rage baiting me, basically just calm, cool, collected, and handle everything non-emotionally. Nobody wants jail, the psychiatric hospital, or any place like that.
Not
The best
at all.
revenge is to enjoy life and be happy, no matter how bad the secrets may be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, like they say, if you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves, one for you and one for your enemy. And we're also saying, generally we're hoping things are going to end, feel good for us, happy for us, like emotionally, like with us crying and feeling happiness. We don't want to think we're going to get so angry that steam is going to start coming for our heads.
Well, literally that won't happen, but figuratively, yes. Because it is possible to be both honest and nice at the same time. You could be truthful, but also nice at the same time.
Yeah.
It's all about how you tell the truth.
Yeah, well, obviously, we were saying, obviously, some people pride themselves on being so real and saying everything so bluntly.
No, they're just jerks and narcissists.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes the truth might be too hard for someone to hear, and you got to guide it. You got to guide them to them in an empathetic kind of way.
Yeah.
You don't want to be just so blunt and so frank.
But then if they find the truth out from someone else, they'll get even more upset than they normally would.
Right. So, obviously, and these people who pride themselves on being so tell it like it is, they're often, don't like it when you tell it like it is to them,
Nope.
They only like, telling it like it is when it's in relation to you. And that's really just bullying, basically.
It is.
Yeah.
So people, please chime into the chat. Come right in, because it's Sunday, close to the evening, and
we were also discussing, millionaires and billionaires and communism, by the way. And we were saying, obviously, how, obviously, what were we saying about millionaires and billionaires? You remember?
Oh yes,
obviously, you and I, obviously, not much money, but even if we did make money, you don't want to get greedy,
Nope.
I personally, obviously, money is really important in the United States of America. It gives you independence, it gives you, security. Obviously, I have like a nice pool, a nice house. There are some people who just want tons and tons of money and want more and more and more. But it gets
they're just never 100% satisfied.
It gets to a certain point when you're kind of like the Rolling Stones, and you got like tons of hits, and like the Verve comes out with the Bittersweet Symphony. It's like, just give them the hit. Don't write credit. Why do you have to be so greedy? And I know a lot like when it comes to Elon Musk, and he's a trillionaire. He seems like autistic and friendly enough. Based on his public persona. Obviously, I've never met him and don't know him, but there's a really big wealth discrepancy between him, more money than I can even fathom, really, and obviously me, disabled nobody, less than $1,000. So, with that being said, you got to keep that in mind, right?
Definitely.
I know we say, and to become somebody so successful, you got to obviously, step on some people, right? Maybe the reason
figuratively, that's what millionaires do. But literally, if you literally step on people, you could go to jail for assault.
Yeah, don't literally step on people. No, obviously, you and I, we got good morals, we got good character. We like to tell it like it is, not like tell it like it is in a blunt kind of way.
No.
We're tell it like it is. We're honest and we wear our hearts on our sleeves. But
unfortunately,
and obviously, we want to succeed in art, but sometimes you got to kind of be phony and wear a mask and kiss ass to succeed. Because people, if you tell the truth too much, people don't like that.
Yeah. Well, if you literally kiss someone's ass,
yeah,
that's pretty sexual. If you literally kiss the ass of the wrong person, you could wind up in jail for sexual harassment.
Yeah, it's fair. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's consensual, of course.
Yes.
If it's consensual, then maybe not.
Well, literally kissing anybody's ass grosses me out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, whoever's watching this live stream right now, please chime in. Say something. Because I feel like I'm talking to myself. and Andrew, of course.
So I feel like there's major secrets that aren't being communicated.
Say, welcome to the club.
But, like the artwork was, try to accept my mother is being transparent, my father is being transparent. There's nothing to take accountability for, apparently. It's a projection, I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, if there was we also said, obviously when there's big secrets, like really gigantic secrets, obviously it's good to take accountability for that. Like case in point, something that's really life or death, or like cheating on a romantic partner, obviously to take accountability for that. But sometimes, obviously, you might give a little white lie in a situation to not be mean. Like somebody could ask you, like a woman might ask you, does this dress make me look fat?
Well,
and in that situation, you might say, yeah, no, you look beautiful, and you might not mean it, but like it's okay.
Well, it's probably better for. Well, here's an idea. It's better for rather than saying yes or no. What you could say is that you're not one to judge, or just like.
I think you should be honest and transparent, especially about very serious things.
Hello, cheeseburger.
But I understand, like, giving some. I mean, you don't want to give insincere compliments and be a phony, just because people don't like that kind of stuff, But also you don't want to be a jerk either. You know what I mean? So, anyways, like that, like for instance, like I'll be around people and sometimes you gotta just kind of zip it and say nothing. You know what I mean? Somebody says, did you hear the Jets? Apparently there's an air show going for the 4th of July. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So cheeseburger. Yes, well, it was like really hot yesterday, so I stayed in my apartment all day in the AC. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I know you and I, obviously I stayed in the apartment for the 4th of July, the American Independence Day. I heard a lot of fireworks going off. They were going they're exploding, sometimes, I feel like, when my parents, finally told me the truth, I think they wanted me to explode like a firework, like the Incredible Hulk, so to speak, like go ballistic. But like they say, maybe this isn't true. And, obviously the best reaction to rage baiting and, narcissistic rage baiting is no reaction, calm, cool, collected, zen. And, silence and no reaction and no revenge speaks louder than any hole punched in the wall, right?
Yep.
Just being done, no contact in the end of the relationship.
Yeah, so. Well,
and the best revenge is success and happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because yesterday 3 of my friends went to a fireworks show at a beach, and they said it was really nice and colorful.
Fair.
And then also last night, when there were fireworks in my neighborhood, we also got like a little thunderstorm too.
Yeah, we went to Eisenhower. Maybe we could have gone yesterday. I don't know if there was a fireworks show or not, but it might have been fun, right?
Yeah, but it was too hot to go anywhere.
Yeah, it was like over 100 degrees, right? Or around that.
Well, Wednesday and Thursday were like that.
Yeah, I was also talking to Ellie. This is a little bit of a different topic here, but obviously I've exercised a lot. I run and I take a lot of walks, and
yes, even in 100-degree weather.
That's certainly true. And obviously also my neck hurts, and I heard of a wrestler who got a spinal stroke and became a quadriplegic. And if you're constantly in neck pain, I think that could be potentially dangerous. So maybe it's good to not go so hardcore and go so extreme all the time, and just let your body rest. Because nobody wants to be a quadriplegic for the obvious reasons.
Oh, no.
Yes, this wrestler was body slamming like 500-pounders and lifted a lot of weights.
Which wrestler?
I think his name was Lex Luger.
Never heard of him.
And he torture racks people over his head. But yeah, like my posture is bad when I run. My neck is constantly bent. But also, try to keep in mind, maybe this is hypochondriasis. There's no, my neck's stiff, my back hurts, my knees hurt, and I've done 25 years of like hardcore exercise. But, obviously nobody wants me to just be a quadriplegic for the obvious reasons, right?
Right. Well, I also have neck pain, back pain, and things like that, but it's not due to exercise. It's mostly due to me getting putting on extra weight,
Yeah.
but also because of stress.
I know this. I know they say obviously it could be arthritis or you can become middle aged or like scoliosis, and obviously exercise can take its toll, or just be but it's important to hopefully nobody wants to be a quadriplegic. Nobody wants.
No, that's worse than having arthritis.
Absolutely. So take it easy. Don't go so intense all the time with the running and walking at 100-degree. It's okay to just rest your neck and body.
Not till you're 75. Well,
let's say hypothetically speaking. Obviously, I like to believe everybody had good intentions when it came to me. But let's say hypothetically speaking, I did just randomly get a nerve impingement in my neck and a spinal stroke and became a quadriplegic. People would be like, "Well, how did this happen? How did this came out of nowhere?" It's like, you see what Andrew was doing every single day for literally years? He never took a break. He was intense. It's like, it's pretty obvious how it happened. But everybody would be so dumbfounded, how did this came out of nowhere? Oh my God, Andrew's a quadriplegic now. It's pretty obvious.
There's nothing funny about
it's not funny. It would be terrible. But obviously that's so take it easy.
Yeah. Well, in order to feel any pain in your spine, you've actually got to have a spine in the first place.
Exactly, yeah. So you make smart decisions, and ultimately, I often complain there's not enough of an intervention, and it's enabling, and but also take accountability. I mean, nobody's having me at gunpoint and forcing me to run and walk all day long.
You're doing that solely of your own volition.
Exactly. So I'm doing that myself, I guess. Yeah. Maybe there should be an intervention, but ultimately I'm doing it to myself, right? I mean, I suspect people might want me to get hurt sadistically, but maybe not. Maybe they just don't care.
Who knows?
Who knows, right? Yeah.
So anyway, whoever besides Cheeseburger, whoever else is.
Speaking of which, did you ever see the music video to Pearl Jam Jeremy? Basically it's about a kid whose parents don't give a shit about him. His stepfather doesn't give a shit about him, and he basically is doing artwork, and it's about a kid.
That's you.
That's basically me. And basically, don't assume my mother and father and stepfather want me to get hurt necessarily. Maybe they just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And
that's worse.
Yeah, and in the end, Jeremy winds up committing suicide in front of everybody in a suburban neighborhood. So, and everybody's all horrified, oh, how did this happen? Nobody cared about him.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, but you're doing all this exercise solely of your own volition.
It's my choice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody says, your mom and dad are lurking. They care about you. They provide you with dinner. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. You want to wrap this up? Okay, you want to keep going.
Yes. Oh, and everybody, just so you know, for the record, I am not a professional. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I have no academic credibility or anything. What I'm about to say is based solely on my observations and perception.
Yeah, before we get into that, we'll get into that in a second. I know what you're going to say. But we said obviously how obviously there's a lot of radio shock jocks who have a microphone in front of them and they just talk into the microphone and people think they're experts. Basically, listen to doctors, psychiatrists, mental health professionals, academics, and people with credibility. I know. Obviously, we said we pay the psychiatrist $300 a month to listen to me cry, but he's went to school for years. He's got credibility. Don't listen to some radio shock jock who just spews nonsense. I mean, they might be trying to tell the truth to the best of their ability, but really, what the hell do they know? They're not a medical expert.
No, and neither am I. Oh, and before I go on to say what I was going to say, on Thursday I had to get a cavity drilled after 15, 16 years of no cavities at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little tiny one. So then I came up with an idea. I asked for the laughing gas, And so what they did was they gave me that laughing gas first.
Yeah.
Then they stuck the Novocaine needle in my gum, and I was like, wow, I didn't even feel them stick the Novocaine needle in my gum at all because of the laughing gas.
Yeah, I mean, I know we said obviously the teeth are really important, you know, for a number of reasons.
It's connected to your brain.
It's connected to your brain. It's connected to your heart too, and the teeth are really important to take care of, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now, yes. So I figured that if you ever have a cavity, try asking for both gas and a Novocaine. That way you won't feel pain at all, even when it wears off.
Yeah, sometimes we said obviously regarding the psychiatrists, you know, sometimes, you know, obviously you can have contrasting opinions. I know like he would say you need the mega regimen medications, and assuming he really believes that and he's not trying to cover up medical negligence, you know, like maybe we just have contrasting viewpoints, you know, different perspectives, you know.
Yes.
You know, he might really think I needed those medications. I might disagree, and you know, that's what we'll have to, you know. I mean, just because somebody has a different opinion doesn't necessarily mean they're lying.
No.
You know, it just means they have a different opinion than you, you know.
And nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, differences of opinion are okay. It makes the world colorful, and diversity is a good thing.
Yep.
We're also just discussing artwork, you know, obviously. You know, some people like rap music.
Yeah.
We're just discussing a band like Metallica. You know, they're a really good metal band, but some people don't like metal music.
Yeah. Hey, we all have different tastes, but that doesn't make us bad people.
Yeah, obviously different opinions, different tastes, different kind of things make the world a beautiful place, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Cheeseburger said, "Did you already do art? We showed it earlier."
Yeah, we showed it earlier.
You can go back and watch it after this live stream's over, unless you want. Yeah, I guess.
But anyway. Now, what I was about to say before we went off on that tangent, I have a theory about introverted people.
What's your theory?
My theory is that that perhaps something traumatic happened in their childhood. They were verbally and emotionally bullied by family, parents, peers, etc. So now they have crippling social anxiety. They keep quiet because they're afraid that they'll get bullied even more. They have like they have trust issues, and they have a lot of anxiety and stuff. So I don't think no one is naturally an introvert. It's just they're just a product of their environment due to being bullied and stuff like that. So, and I think that if they have severe PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, or perhaps a really bad head injury due to a car accident, it could result in like mental illnesses, social anxiety, and other things.
I mean, this is certainly an opinion. You know.
Yes, it's just my opinion. I'm not a professional in any way. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I suspect sometimes maybe I have some neurological damage. I went to a neurologist. I didn't notice anything. You know, I suspect maybe the mega regimen of medications caused neurological damage. Maybe the running, the lack of hydration. Maybe I had heat stroke. You know, I also suspect. You know, obviously. My mother said you would have passed out on the street. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I also suspect, you know, obviously narcissistic abuse and solitude can cause neurological damage. And speaking of which, my neck is hurting. So try not to catastrophize. I'm going to get a spinal stroke and be a quadriplegic like Lex Luger. Just say, you just take it easy. Don't run so much. And it's going to be okay, you know.
Oh, and also that's why, because of my theory, I think that's why I think that introversion isn't hereditary genes or due to autism or whatever. It's because it traces all back to their childhoods. But this is just my theory. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will. Comment on my theory, but
yeah, you're like a radio shock jock, you know.
No, I'm really not. I'm just stating my opinion.
You know, like the radio shock jocks just state their opinions, and they don't really have any like mental health or psychiatry, you know, credibility.
I really don't.
They're not doctors, you know. But
No.
I mean, I'm sure you're not trying to intentionally deceive people. It's just your opinion.
Yes. Because for the record, I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form. Just to let you know.
That's okay. Like a lot of these radio shows, they'll just say their opinions and people will just believe their opinions. And as long as you're not trying to intentionally deceive and mislead people, I guess it's okay to be wrong. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you have an opinion that's incorrect, right?
I mean, this is just my observation. So just solely based on my observations and perception.
Unless, of course, you're doing like Joseph Goebbels from Nazi Germany and you're intentionally spreading propaganda to lead people down the wrong path. But that's kind of like a different kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's not what I think you're doing. I think you're just speaking honestly, and maybe you're wrong. And that's not a bad thing. It just means, you're wrong,
Yes. So keep in mind that what I just said about introverts and introversion is just my opinion. No, I have no academic credibility whatsoever. I'm not a professional, and I will not be held liable. I will not be held liable for anyone for whatever may happen.
It's okay. It's okay to just.
So consider this my disclaimer.
It's okay. It's okay to have opinions.
Yes, just my opinion.
Yeah, just don't be like Goebbels and spread propaganda and lies. Because at that point it just becomes like just deception and just But I mean, it's okay to have opinions that are wrong though.
Yeah. Now, because I think that introversion is due to traumatic childhoods, excessive verbal and emotional bullying, and all that stuff. This is just what I think.
And also, sometimes it gets to a point where you should probably not comment on a situation, especially if the situation does not pertain to you in any way.
No.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes people want to comment on.
I'm not. I'm just speaking in general.
I know my mother is very gossipy, for instance, and she'll like comment on like everybody and every little thing.
My mom too.
And everybody's life. And it's like, maybe just, don't be so gossipy and maybe just shut your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, why do you have to gossip about everyone and say your opinion about everyone? And do the what probably happened. Like you hear stories on the news and she'll say, what probably happened in this situation is this. It's like, I guess. I mean, you're just speaking your opinion, but,
It's just that if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, don't be surprised if they punch you in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, true. You try to have good morals, good character, and do the right thing.
Yeah. Well, Andrew definitely has good morals and good character, as you can very well see.
I try to do the right thing. I try to help people, and I know nobody always makes the right decision.
Not everyone does.
I mean, but generally try to do the right thing, and good karma will find you. Don't try to hurt people, and don't try to do wrong by people. And if you do the right thing, usually it adds up, and good will return to you. If you do the wrong thing, usually bad will return to you. I don't believe in karma as like a supernatural kind of force, but usually people who repeatedly do the right thing usually get rewarded in some capacity. I'm not even saying you obviously do the right thing for your own selfish. I'm saying just do it because it makes you feel better as a person. I mean, like why would you want to? I mean, like why would you want to go out and sadistically hurt someone? I mean, I get there's people who do that, like Rex Humerman, the Long Island serial killer, or like Adolf Hitler, for instance.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they're sadists and psychopaths who like hurting others. But I don't think you or I or I mean, it's good to have good morals and character, and like to do the right thing, right? So.
You see, everyone makes mistakes. You just got to learn from them and make a conscious effort to not make the same mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody obviously makes mistakes. Some people can make mistakes that are literally criminal, and
Well, then it's not a mistake if you're committing a crime.
Absolutely. And obviously, some people. You got to learn from your mistakes and not repeat the same mistakes.
Exactly.
And because when you start repeating the same mistakes, it becomes a choice at that point.
Exactly. So learn from your mistakes and don't make the same mistake over and over and over, expecting different results.
That's the definition of insanity. Okay, but by the way, my neck is hurting, and it's like I'm afraid of a spinal stroke or or a nerve impingement. So don't go to the gym tomorrow and run, or maybe don't do like the walk in the 100-degree day. You know what I mean? Maybe just run, but don't go so intense and hardcore. Because like if I became a quadriplegic, I'd be like, what happened here? And maybe get it checked out by a chiropractor or an orthopedic to make sure there's nothing bad there. Because nobody wants that for the obvious reasons.
Well, it's good that you actually work out every day, but if it's resulting in, but maybe you shouldn't push yourself too hard. Yeah,
maybe I should just take it a little bit easier. Take a little break, and it's okay.
Taking a little break won't hurt you.
No, it won't. In fact, going so intense all the time might.
Exactly. Do you want so really you're just risking you're putting yourself at risk for quadriplegia or whatever.
Hopefully not.
No, you're doing it to yourself, no one else is.
Maybe it's just arthritis and neck pain. But yeah, I mean, like why would you want quadriplegia? Yeah.
Well, my neck pain is the result of how my sleeping positions, but also stress related.
Yes, it could be sleeping positions too. But I think it's running, honestly. All right.
In your case, yes. In my case, sleeping positions and stress.
That's true. Okay, you want to get going? I think.
If anyone else has to add extra sense about my theory on introverts, share your thoughts on that.
I think that's good. I think we did enough damage today. I think we rocked.
Yeah, I think we did enough psychological damage.
We did psychological damage. What are you talking about? Why would somebody want to do psychological damage to someone?
I don't know. Because there are lots of sadistic monsters in the world, Andrew.
You shouldn't try to hurt somebody psychologically.
No. Okay. Well, it's worse than hurting them physically.
Absolutely.
Because it actually carries. You
should have good intentions. You should try to help people. I know we said ultimately I'm hoping things will end feel good, happy, with everyone having good intentions and crying. You don't want to think
we got more people.
You don't want to think it's going to end like me going into like getting so angry, steam's going to start coming from my head. Because that would be bad.
Well, if that literally happened, that
might be a medical emergency.
Yes.
I mean, I suspect my cousins, aunts, uncles, family have all been rage baiting me behind the scenes, but who knows? Maybe everyone had good intentions.
And I see there's still some more people going in and out of the live stream. Please, people, just chime in for God's sake.
Okay, I guess that's good. I guess we've done enough here. I guess.
Yes, I guess we've traumatized enough people.
Okay, all good. Stop. It's not good to traumatize people, Alec.
No.
Okay.
Because you do a pretty good job of that on your own.
I don't intentionally try to traumatize.
Well, good. Neither do I.
Okay, that's good. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right.
Yes.
Just adios, guys.
Bye, people.
Talk to you later.